deep in your name. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I woke up this morning and I noticed that Steven Crowder had scrubbed all of his social media, and I was curious. I didn't know what happened. I know that he's on vacation. Crowder does love his long vacations, doesn't he? I kid. I consider Steven a friend, and I admit that I am a hopeless workaholic. I mean, I had streams going on New Year's and Christmas Day, okay? So I can't help myself. But I noticed that he had quit, essentially, all social media. And his explanation for such was pretty interesting. And I wanted to respond to it because I understand where he's coming from. And I think a lot of what he said is correct. There are a few things that I think I can add to it as somebody who's an avid social media user and someone who's, also in the same space. And I think it was interesting. So he started this initiative this morning called #CleanSlate, which essentially started with him deleting everything. Now, I do want to remind, by the way, if you're a mug clubber, you know you need delicious coffee to go in that mug. Well, I'm opening just a few spots in my premium monthly coffee club. You guys know I have coffeebrandcoffee.com. It's not some crappy dropship operation. We roast our own stuff. I'm involved in every single part of the process, how light or dark we roast things, the flavor levels, all this stuff, and also in picking out this ultra premium monthly flight of coffees that each month it comes from a different spot of the world that you can only get through my Roaster's Choice program, not available anywhere else on Coffee Brand Coffee or anything like that. Ecuador having a light roast with lychee, pineapple, and orange juice, chocolate. Brazil, we've had a different, spot. Honduras. This program has, it only has a couple hundred spots open, or total. So there's only about 20 spots open right now, but you want to get in, and I'm going to give you 50% off your first month. Join the club. 50. We'll give you 50% off. You can see 221 reviews, perfect 5 stars. Everybody who joins us loves it. It's a different roast every month. This is if you're a regular coffee drinker, this is like that nice cup you have at the end of the day, or the nice cup you have when you have people over, or when you wake up in the morning, that first cup. And you can see we've been all over the place. I mean, you can look at the reviews from Bolivia. You've got you can read them. Here's a Rwandan that we had. It's a different, exotic location. Here's one from Mexico that we had, all 5 stars. If you're a coffee head and you like to have a good cup of coffee, join the club. It supports the channel directly, supports the fight, it supports my staff. Join the club. 50, link in the description below. So I asked, why did Crowder delete his timeline? Well, apparently there's more. If you go to the hashtag, there's a lot of people who talk about, I've deleted 500 Instagram posts, 500 posts on Instagram, and everything prior to today on X in joining Steven Crowder in the 2024 Clean Slate campaign. A lot of people talking about Clean Slate. What's interesting is, some of the facts that Crowder raises. So here he says, Clean Slate 2024. Happy 2024. It's time to start with a clean slate. Delete Twitter. So then he links to his Rumble video where he describes exactly what he's doing. He provides people, here's delete Twitter, delete Instagram, delete Facebook. And some of the major topics, some of the major points he talks about here, I think there's a lot
but it won't let you go.
Yeah, Steven, quiet. I think there's a lot of value in the things he's talking about in terms of how addicted we get to social media, the things that we ignore. How often is it? When's the last time you went to dinner and you just look around? I mean, look at your own table. How many people have their phones out? For 2024, one of the things I'm trying to do is ban phones from the dinner table. Very simple thing to do. I mean, there was a time, I'm actually old enough to remember when there weren't cell phones, and it was a simpler time. You didn't feel you didn't get the itch for picking up the phone and seeing what's going on in the world. You didn't, text messages, right? Or phone calls. You know how you get a text message or a phone call and then you get like this guilt? I don't have it. I don't call people back all the time, unless it's my mom. But I remember even my dad, when he was around, he would call and leave like a voicemail like, "Hey, son, it's your dad. I know you don't answer your phone and you don't listen to your voicemails." I hope I saved one of those because they were always classic. But I would always call my dad back. But, I'm kind of known for that. And I think, you feel like this guilt. Oh, I got a text message, I got to respond to it. Or someone called me, I got to respond to it. There was a time when we had these things called answering machines, and you might not even check it every day. So he talks about that aspect of it, how every aspect of your life is plugged into basically three major companies: Instagram, Facebook, which are the same company, and Twitter, which he should have called X, but whatever. He also promotes an app called Redact. I don't know if he has anything to do with it or whatever, but this is a thing to mass delete all of your social media posts. He talks about how the algorithm keeps people on a hamster wheel, and that's something I want to talk about. I think that he's 100% right about that. Especially, for example, if you look at X. I don't really use, Instagram or Facebook as much. I mean, I have somebody that manages it for me to try and reach people that do. But, it's like you see the same post over and over again. You ever get that feeling like deja vu? Like, gosh, why do I keep seeing the same post? Why do I keep seeing the same video over and over and over again? It's because of the algorithm, because you interact with it, because you interact with the people that repost it. I started, on X, unfollowing a lot of people who just keep posting the exact same video. I mean, the people I'm talking about. They had zero value whatsoever. They just take someone else's clip and they just post it. And then there's like 5 or 10 of them that all do it in unison, and it fills up your timeline. I just started blocking or muting those people because it's like, yes, I get it. Oh my God. I get it. You want to make 25 cents off Twitter this month. Somebody who's already probably a millionaire, but it's not your video. He talks about like they create nothing. And I agree with that. And they add no context. They just fill your timeline and you end up on this hamster wheel where it's the same crap you see fed to you over and over again. On top of that, he brings up the valuable point in that he challenges people to just take some time off these social media apps and just go look for videos or news on your own. And that's kind of what I have started doing. I mean, I'm on Twitter, but not as much as I used to be. I'm definitely not on Facebook or Instagram nearly ever. I'm on my locals that I use. Posted a fun video of my dogs there this morning. But, other than that, I can just go to New York Post. I can just go to the Daily Mail. I can just go to the Post Millennial. I can go to Timcast. I don't need Twitter to tell me that they posted something. I can just go look. And essentially you become big tech's product then. By using social media, you are the product. If something is free, you're likely the product, right? So Facebook sells you ads. Facebook sells your data. Instagram, the same thing. And Twitter, the exact same thing. 3 to 4 companies control essentially the entire narrative that you see every day. And that's the part where I agree with Steven. I think it's very valuable to put new websites in your... I still use bookmarks. Maybe that's, you could call me a boomer for that. I don't know. But I kind of have this, like, I bet you do too. You have like 2 or 3 websites that you check every day, right? Maybe use social media to ask for recommendations for other websites that people like. For example, what was that? Ground News, for example, is a decent site. There's other sites out there, hundreds, thousands of sites that provide alternative perspectives to you that will help expand your worldview. He also asked the question, does social media make your life better? And that's a question that honestly, it kind of comes, it's a question you can ask about a lot of things. Does alcohol make your life better? Does, Cool Ranch Doritos, do they make your life better? Does binge watching 18 hours of Netflix make your life better? And you can sit there and you can nitpick every little thing you do in life that way, but I think that's too much. But I think you could pick a few things, a few things every now and again, like, hey, does whatever. Does this argument I'm having with somebody on social media, is it improving my life? Is it making me feel good? No. Social media is addictive. Most experts agree. But here's where I disagree. I think the idea of, just walking away from something entirely, that can be good, but I don't think it's required. I think there are apps now that you can use that limit your screen time. It's something that I have actually started doing. As somebody who's terminally online, I limit my screen time when I'm offline to like 30 minutes for the rest of the day. That's it. Because I sit in front of a desk, in front of a screen all night long. That's an active thing I did. So if I want to blow it all on Twitter, I can. If I want to watch, a cool video on YouTube, I can. But that's it. Can't necessarily do it with your TV, but you can kind of do that kind of stuff. I think that understanding that Facebook, Instagram, any social media, including YouTube or Rumble or anything, it is a tool and it should make your life better. Maybe it provides you entertainment. Maybe it does. Maybe it informs you. Maybe it, it makes you ask questions, things like that. But if it isn't doing those things, then perhaps do think about taking part in his #CleanSlate thing. Also understanding that when you don't use these people's products, you aren't giving them your information for free. They make less money. If you're not posting all day long on X or Twitter or Facebook, they're making less money. That's a thing too, right? They make more money, understand this too, when they make you mad. When you're mad, you engage more. That's just a known fact. So what do you think the algorithms push? They push things that are going to create outrage. And then it outrages people all day long. So I understand where he's coming from this, cleaning out your Facebook posts, your Instagram, your Twitter. I would argue, maybe consider adding a bunch of new people to follow. I would propose diversifying. If you get joy from using Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, then go ahead and use it. If you're using it too much, then consider screen time limiter. It's actually really very easy to do, and you should keep cutting it back a little by a little by a little by a little, and then you'll realize that you just cut back a little more, 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 and before you're like, wow, I'm actually talking to people, or wow, I'm actually getting stuff done around the house. Wow, I start doing this. What we do around our house is right now I'm watching A Murder at the End of the World, which is would be a great show if it weren't for all the insane, strong, independent women who don't need no man crap in it. But we'll watch an episode and then clean something or do something. Watch an episode, do something. That's what we do on the weekends. This weekend's supposed to be blizzard again. Just talked to my wife. She's like, we want to watch an episode, do something this weekend? Yes. Okay, so we pick out a show, we watch an episode, and then we go clean or do something for an hour. Watch an episode, go do something for an hour. That way, at least you're getting something done. So I would preach moderation as opposed to outright walking away. Now, if you can't control yourself and you spend all day on it, then consider taking a break. Because I assure you, these apps will be there if you ever want to come back. Let me know what you think about his Clean Slate initiative, if you're taking part in it, or some of the other things I said in this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.